All right, your first spring with your new team. What's the transition been like, not just in these 3 days, but since you got here on campus and getting to know this team and this coaching staff?
Yeah, transition's been really good. It always helps when you're from the area, so you kind of know a little bit of what you're getting into. And then when you're familiar with a lot of guys on the team already. So I knew Brandon coming out of high school, Brandon Crossley. I knew Preston Stone. I've known him like my whole entire life. Pretty much. And so like when you know a lot of guys on the team, Nolan Matthews, it makes it a lot easier for the transition. The strength staff has been great. As soon as I came in, they helped me out, get acquainted with everything. Coach Lashley, Coach Simons, Coach Hundley, like everybody on the staff has been very like family oriented and making sure all of us transfer and new guys, high school, whatever the case may be, are all acquainted and really just, taken care of. And so I appreciate them. The transition's been pretty smooth. Coming to Dallas has been a little different with the environment. I didn't know, like when you're in a city in Palo Alto, California, traffic's not that bad. Traffic's pretty bad out here, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you had to learn to maneuver different things and, timing and stuff like that, just new things. But I've enjoyed, coming here, and I've loved my time here.
What's that been like? There are a lot of new guys coming in the secondary. Pretty good core back. What's that kind of meshing been like with that secondary unit?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I will want to say, the older guys and, the guys that have been here have done a really good job of, making sure that the room is competitive and it's not combative. That's, the poison that, can happen when you have a lot of transfers coming in or when you have other people coming in that you kind of get combative, but it's really competitive. We're all learning the same playbook. They're helping me out with things that I didn't know. I'm helping them out, with some things. And so we're all getting to a place where we want the best, for the team. And so when the goal is winning, that you're going to have competitiveness in the room because, no position is going to be handed to you. We're deep at a lot of positions. And so just having that competition, but understanding that, I'm not trying to pull nobody else down so I can get up mentality is something that, the older guys, Massey, Crossley, Jahari, a lot of guys in the secondary have had, and it's shown up, the first 2-3 days of practice. And so they've done a really good job. And so, hats off to them for that.
You mentioned those guys that you knew, Nolan and Preston and Brandon. When you started to decide on your next destination, your next school, how much of a factor did they play in your decision to come to SMU, and how much of it was simply coming home and being near your family and familiar territory?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that I was kind of looking for was really a place where I feel like I could take a next step to kind of grow more, and also, go into an environment that was really family oriented and family friendly. So when I talked to Preston, I think the night that I entered the portal, Coach Lashley ended up calling me probably the next day, but I talked to Preston, I FaceTimed him, asked him, about everything here. And so it played a part in understanding I know what the guys in the locker room are like, and I know, what their character is, and I didn't want to go to a place, where I felt like I wouldn't mesh with the team. I felt like I wouldn't be a part of the team, or I would be an outcast, or whatever the case may be. And so the guys on the team kind of just reassured me, the guys in the locker room, and also, coming back to Dallas, being, 30 minutes away from home, being able to go to church on Sundays, hang out with the fam after, like all of those things are really benefits, and I've enjoyed all of it.
When you FaceTimed with Preston, did he tell you anything that surprised you?
Not necessarily. I kind of knew a lot of the stuff. I felt like I knew a lot of the stuff with the guys in the locker room. And so nothing really shocked me or surprised me. And so, obviously that's why I'm here. So he did a great job of recruiting me, let's just say that.
What have the first few days been like, kind of setting that foundation of, Coach Simon's defense and in the secondary, just kind of what's it been like going through drills and getting the work in?
It's been really good. I feel like as a unit we're meshing pretty well with, Ahmad and, Massey and me in the back end, Isaiah coming back, Crossley, CJ, all of us are kind of, the rotation is switching every period. And so the team chemistry within, how we talk to each other, how we orchestrate with each other, how we disguise some things, how we play some things, I feel like all of that is working and meshing pretty well right now. I've enjoyed, with Coach Simons. He's, a really good coach. He talks a lot about, the fundamentals. We've done tackling drills, for the first, 15 minutes of every practice, probably since last week. And so kind of just his emphasis on the little things, the fundamentals, laying the foundation. so that, once we get to the fall, everything is second nature, and we're just being able to play fast and play physical, and play with a lot of effort. And so I appreciate that he harps so much on the little things, because the little things become the big things. And so the biggest thing right now is just setting the foundation for the team, for the unit, and for our group, so we understand where we need to grow, and we have something that we can really build on.
Obviously, you're only 3 practices in, but you've been here since January. Are there any significant differences in the way this program operates on a day-to-day basis compared to what you've been used to?
Well, I'll just say probably the biggest difference was we do things in the morning compared to at Stanford, we did things in the evening. So I appreciate the new schedule of doing things in the morning. Back in high school, that's kind of what you get used to. Early practices, spring ball, and all of that stuff is in the morning. And so you get a chance to, get your work in, do everything, but you have a lot of time to recover, go to the training room, do treatment and things like that, compared to trying to fit that in the schedule at my previous school. But I appreciate kind of how we operate, how family-oriented it is here, and how, player-friendly it is as well.
How much do you and the DBs split time between, you mentioned Coach Hundley coordinating the secondary, Coach Simons doing the whole larger scheme for the entire defense. How much do you split time between the two of them, and who spends more time teaching with you guys?
Yep, so right now Coach Simons and Coach Cooper are the safeties coaches. And so Coach Simons, we meet with him every single morning. I'll text with Coach Simons a little bit more than Coach Hundley. Coach Hundley, he kind of does a little bit more of the on-field work. So like when we're in, 7-on-7 or we're in one-on-ones, he might give, 2 tips or whatever that he noticed on a certain rep to try to, help you out. So it's really all hands on deck. Coach Cooper works a lot with the nickels, so he works with, CJ and Crossley a little bit more. But it's an all hands on deck approach. Coach Simons, when we get out here, he, kind of becomes more of the DC role, but once we're meeting everything, he's more of the safeties coach, and Coach Hundley, meets with the corners primarily and then ends up, giving us all help. So I've gone up there the past 2 days, just in the coach's office, just walking through Coach Hundley. Hey, McGill, let me talk to you real quick. And then I hop in there and talk with him, chop it up about some things. And then Coach Simons, same thing. So really all hands on deck approach. They all work together pretty well, and I appreciate that.
You mentioned how nice it is to be, 30 minutes from home?
Yeah.
When you were making your choice of a new school, how much was your family in your ear asking you to come home?
They did it, actually. They didn't want me to feel pressured to go somewhere because of them. But me personally, I wanted, the past 4 years, they've been having to take planes and flying, 3.5 hours to get there and watch me play, or, wherever the case may be. And so they've done a lot the past 4 years, and so they weren't pressuring me to come home by any means, but I just wanted a chance and a benefit really to come home, have my grandparents see me play, my parents see me play, my nephew, family, friends, people that I've known from high school, just a whole bunch of factors played into it. And so my parents they were happy with the decision, but they didn't force me to make the decision. So I'm not going pin that on them at all.